WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. One man is dead and another is fighting for his life after a fire at a Pontotoc duplex.
WCBI's Allie Martin was on the scene and brings us more.
Investigators believe the blaze started near this badly damaged sofa.
It either started on the carpet right directly in front of the sofa or actually on the sofa cushions itself.
Pontotoc Fire Chief Lance Martin says 57-year-old Bruce Hunter died at the scene from toxic smoke inhalation. Hunter had been staying at the apartment for about a week, according to neighbors. 55-year-old Thomas Foreman had lived in the apartment for more than a year. Foreman was taken to a Memphis hospital.
The exact cause is still 100% undetermined right now. We have ruled out it being electrical or any type of accelerant used. Right now, all fingers, unless new information comes forward, everything's kind of pointing towards a cigarette that possibly could have started the fire.
Chief Martin believes the fire was smoldering for about 90 minutes before it was reported. He says there was a smoke detector in the apartment, but it was damaged. Residents here say smoke alarms are checked on a regular basis.
The smoke alarms that we have is in our hallway, to where it gets to at least one room and to the bathroom and the living room. Now there's a wall that covers in the kitchen, but I'm sure we could hear it because when they test it, it's pretty loud.
Donna Walls has lived at the Pontotoc Park Apartments for 3 years and says the community is close-knit and now grieving in the wake of the city's first fire death in more than a decade. In Pontotoc, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
And Martin encourages people to be sure cigarettes are out before going to sleep. The apartment did have a fire extinguisher.
The state fire marshal investigators in Oktibbeha County looking into a morning fire at 21 apartments. A spokesperson with the state fire marshal's office in Jackson confirms they are assisting in the investigation. Although you can't see any damage from Octok Road, residents tell WCBI News the fire broke out in what they believe was an empty apartment. Oktibbeha County Sheriff's deputies are working the case. The cause of the fire has not been confirmed, although investigators are pursuing this as a possible arson. No injuries are reported. There are no suspects at this time. Time now to turn our attention to weather. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson joins us with your first look. Keith?
Joy, quite balmy out there right now. Low 70s in most spots here in northeast Mississippi and west Alabama. You factor in those southerly breezes. Yes, it is a blustery type evening, but at least it's warm out there. No issues whatsoever. Wind gusts still approaching 30 miles per hour in some locations. Now this evening, this Monday evening, we're looking pretty good. A lot of 60s, a mix of clouds and stars this evening. Now notice these very strong storms back across the high plains. We could see that around our region tomorrow. Still iffy on the severe weather threat. We'll have all the details coming up.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. Steel Dynamics is getting a new neighbor and business associate in Lowndes County. Lowndes County supervisors today got an update. Supervisors learned a business named Project Garage wants to begin construction on a 50 to 60,000 square foot facility. It's a big investment of at least $7.5 million. Joe Max Higgins is the CEO of the Golden Triangle Development Link. He says this means new jobs and new infrastructure.
Project Garage is a project that's looking to locate on the SDI campus, the steel mill campus. They will take steel that SDI makes and process it.
Higgins says Lowndes County will take on a rail loan. Those tracks will be built all the way to the new facility. The Project Garage will repay the loan over 10 years. Developers hope to begin construction this summer. Higgins says it will take 6 to 8 months to complete. That's in line with the time it will take to run the tracks. When Project Garage is complete and working with Steel Dynamics, Higgins is estimating a minimum of 50 new positions will be created.
Governor Phil Bryant appoints a new corrections commissioner. Felicia Hall has served as interim commissioner of the Mississippi Department of Corrections since late January. Bryant announced her permanent appointment today. Hall has served as lead counsel for the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics and has 15 years of legal experience in the government and private sectors. She replaces Marshall Fisher, who was appointed commissioner of the Department of Public Safety. MDOC has 2,200 employees and runs more than 35 facilities, including 3 state prisons, 3 private prisons, 15 regional facilities, and 10 community work centers.
Well, now that that new commissioner is in place for the Department of Corrections, many regional jails are wondering what's next for them.
Yeah, one of those jails is the Chickasaw County Regional Correctional Facility. WCBI's Jory Talley joins us in the studio with more on where regional jails stand and what they're hoping to see in the future with the new director taking over. Jory?
Andre and Joey, the Chickasaw County Regional Correctional Facility is one of the 15 regional facilities that house the state inmates, and they want to see that number grow. Over the last couple of years, more than 60 state inmates have been cut from the jail. There's been many changes at the Chickasaw County Regional Correctional Facility over the last couple of years. And Chickasaw County Sheriff James Myers says he's hoping the new Mississippi Department of Corrections director will deliver some solutions.
Right now we really hadn't. I mean, I know she's probably getting her feet on the ground, taking a new position, but right now we're just, we're hoping that that the philosophy will change as far as these regional jails and put us back up to our numbers.
The facility can house 350 state inmates, but they currently only house 285. At one time, it was housing 340 state inmates at almost $30 a day until cuts took away over 60 inmates and almost $1 million.
Our contract calls for $240. We get $29.74 per inmate there, but now any inmate over the contract, we don't give it $20 a day. So we're having to house an inmate and a half to make up the difference, and so we're just losing money, and we've got to come to some kind of a happy medium.
Sheriff Myers says he hopes that happy medium can be reached by the state, allowing them to house over 300 state inmates on a daily basis.
We have to have that money here. The jail, we hope it will be self-supporting, and we don't want to put any more burden on the taxpayers. But we opened this jail in good faith with the state of Mississippi. And all we're asking them is that, we were at 340 inmates, and we can house them cheaper than they can, and we're just asking for them in good faith, let us get our numbers back up.
Chickasaw County Supervisor Russell Brooks says the state inmate shortage not only hurts the jail's budget, but also the county's.
We had to do some tough cuts, and those cuts from different departments, and there's some things that we want to do for the county. And it's hard to do those things now because you got to cut in other areas to make up for this shortfall from the regional jail.
Brooks says they need help to make up for all of the shortages, and it's got to come from one place.
That kind of loss there, it's hard to recoup that loss, and we're going to have some help from Jackson to make up for this loss. Jackson is going to have to come in to give us more inmates to make up for this loss.
Sheriff Myers says the state inmate shortage makes it hard to budget when the numbers are going up and down. Andrea?
An update now concerning the Columbus mayoral race. The list of candidates was shortened today as one name was taken off the ballot. Our Quentin Smith is joining us live from the municipal complex with more on this developing story. Quentin?
That's right, Andrea. The lone Republican candidate running for mayor, Garthia Halbert, has now been dropped from the race. That decision was made earlier today. The Columbus Republican Municipal Executive Committee declined to certify Halbert because she did not meet residential requirements. Now, we tried reaching out to Halbert to get her comments and thoughts on this decision. So far, she hasn't gotten back with us. Now, with Halbert being out of the race, this now leaves 3 Democrats and 1 independent left on the ballot to run for that position. Primary elections are set for May 2nd, and the general election is set for June 6th. But for now, reporting live in Columbus, Quentin Smith, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Quentin. Meanwhile, Houston Mayor Stacey Parker can save his reelection signs around town. No one qualified to run against the 3-term incumbent. Now he's gearing up for a 4th. Parker says he's more committed than ever to improving the Chickasaw County town.
My approach to that is I feel like I still owe it to the public and this great city of Houston that I've got to contribute even more at this point, not only to prove to them, but to prove to myself that the position that I've ran for is not to be taken lightly.
Parker says he will focus on street improvements the next 4 years.
Step outside, and you may ask, what season is it, winter or spring?
Constantly confused. The short answer is, well, it's allergy season. That I did know. We take a look when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self. and Joey Barnes.
Sneezing, watery eyes, itchy nose and throat. It must be allergy season. It must be Mississippi. Allergists say the pollen count is at an all-time high that is. But a lot of people think it's blooming flowers causing the symptoms. In reality, the trees such as oak and pine along with ragweed and grass. Specialists say it can be hard to tell the difference between a cold and allergies because they of course have similar symptoms.
With a cold, probably in a week it's going to be gone. Whereas with allergy, like right now, if you're allergic to, let's say, oak tree, then you may have trouble, going on for 4 or 5 weeks.
And Hooker says if your allergy symptoms last more than a month without any relief, you should go see your physician or an allergy specialist. And bless you for that sneeze.
I know, right? Well, Keith takes his meteorology lesson on the road again today. He talks with Louisville fourth graders. Not about pollen, but the Louisville Elementary has been studying clouds and storms and other weather wonders. And Keith talked to them about severe weather and how it develops and what they should do to stay safe. Teachers, if you'd like to have our First Alert weather team in your classroom, go to our website, WCBI.com, for more information.
Had a great time down there today in Louisville, and look at this great sunset from Sulligent, Alabama. Pretty quiet around here tonight, but somewhat stormy tomorrow with a cold front coming on in. Full forecast is next.
WCBI First Alert Weather School is brought to you by Emerson Animal Hospital in West Point. Your First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, our Alpha Insurance time lapse from downtown Tupelo today. Looking back to the east, you can see some clouds moving pretty fast across our horizon today. And those clouds are still with us, and we will see some additional clouds and some rain chances tomorrow. Now, there have been a few showers in our area today, very isolated, but just enough rain falling from this cloud southeast of Starkville about an hour ago to produce a very faint rainbow. But check that out. Kind of cool on this quiet Monday afternoon. Pretty warm out there today as well. So just a few of those isolated specks here showing up on the radar. We may see a few additional showers in the region later on tonight, but all the severe stuff, the strong stuff, is going to stay well toward north. And look at this line of storms erupting from northeastern Kansas through Missouri, Iowa, and Minnesota. There's actually been a confirmed tornado up there in Minnesota, which I think is actually now the earliest confirmed tornado on record in the state of Minnesota, having come today. But that line of storms is moving southeast. We will have a window of opportunity from about 9 to 4 tomorrow, 9 in the morning to about 4 in the afternoon for some strong storms around here, or at least a line of storms, some of which could be strong. Wind and hail, the main threats. If we do see some severe weather, the tornado threat is low. The overall severe weather threat tomorrow is low in the grand scheme of things. However, we'll be babysitting the radar and to see what perks on up later on. Now, tonight, as I mentioned, there could be a few passing showers here. You can see that with Futurecast. Here comes the front. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, well off toward northwest, but the front will be approaching our northwestern counties by about 9 o'clock in the morning. This is very similar to what happened last Wednesday. 9 o'clock in the northwest, maybe noon in the Golden Triangle area, and south and east down towards our far southeastern counties by mid-afternoon. And then high pressure comes on in behind it, and that will give us some pretty nice weather for the middle of the week. Temperatures right now into the low 70s in many spots. It's still quite breezy out there. Sustained wind 10 to 20, gusting still to around 25 to 30 miles per hour. in some locations. So it will be a breezy night. 61 degrees our forecast low, perhaps a few stray showers. Our planner for tomorrow, some showers early, and then from mid-morning through mid-afternoon, a chance for some of those storms, and then quiet weather by 4 and 5 o'clock tomorrow. Here's our city-by-city forecast. A lot of upper 60s, low 70s in the region with that line of storms coming on through. Your 7-day forecast would show a pretty warm regime. Very nice sunny, 70 on Thursday, 74 Thursday, a chance for a few showers Friday. Another round of strong storms is possible late Saturday evening or late Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. We'll keep you up to date on that as we go throughout the next couple of days.
Coming up, the annual Howell and Gillum trophies were awarded in Jackson today. Find out who the best college basketball players in Mississippi are next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Well, basketball season has been exciting, chaotic, overall enjoyable as always here in the Magnolia State. And today, the annual Gillum and Howell Trophy is awarded in Jackson to the best women's and men's college basketball player in Mississippi. And for the third consecutive year, Mississippi State's Victoria Vivians was named the Gillum Trophy recipient. Since arriving in Starkville, Vivians has won the annual award each year. She has played for the Bulldogs. Now, as a junior, Vivians has averaged 16 points per game and has been named first-team All-SEC. That goes along with her fifth best 18.1 points per game in conference play. Her teammate Morgan Williams was recognized as the Gillum Trophy finalist at the ceremony, and Tori focused on Morgan and her team for her successes.
We've grown a lot. Like I said, Morgan deserves it as well. Her season has been great, and she's been a phenomenal player this year, as well as my teammates. Like, our team is an all-around team. If this award was a team award, I'm pretty sure our team would get it because we're doing great things and we're trying to accomplish a lot. It's just not a one-person effort.
She gets everybody's best defender, everybody's best game plan every night. No one knows her better than the coaches and the players in our league in the SEC. And she continues to do it at an unbelievable rate and at a very high level.
For the men, the Howell Trophy was awarded to Ole Miss senior Sebastian Saiz today. Saiz continues a streak of 5 straight years where an Ole Miss Rebel has won the Howell Trophy, joining Stephon Moody, Jarvis Summers, and Marshall Henderson. Saiz has broken out during his senior season, ranking 7th in the nation in rebounding, pulling down 10.9 boards per game. The Madrid, Spain native was honored, and the award brings his journey to the States full circle.
It's a great feeling coming here from Spain, another country, another culture. Be able to come here to the state of Mississippi and make history like that is something that not a lot of people can do, and I'm just so thankful for it.
He's one of my favorite players of all time in my 11 seasons at Ole Miss, and I had no doubt that he was going to be successful because he's always brought the right approach. He's worked hard. He's invested his time into his game. Great attitude. I'm happy to see him now start reaping the fruits of his labor.
To the state tournament in Jackson. High school hoops semifinals. We start with the 1A girls in Pine Grove taking on Durant, and no chance for Durant in this game. That's Taylor Fletcher driving for 2 there, and then Lauren Elliott, she's going to get the ball in the corner for 3. That goes. Pine Grove would just continue to build and build on their lead. They would roll 50-35 over Durant as they advance to the 1A state championship Thursday at 1 p.m. To the Ripley girls facing Byhalia, the 4A girls semifinals. A rematch these two teams have played this year in division play. Montera Crum starts off. She gets the bucket right there, extending their lead. More from the Lady Tigers. Deja Rogan is having a coming out party in Jackson. The hoop and the harm right there. And the first quarter, more from Rogan. She shows you she can also take it to the outside. She hits the triple from the wing right here. Now Ripley led by 6 at the half. Fourth quarter, they're actually trailing by 2 here. Now remember, it is springtime here in Mississippi, but it's always summer when you have Summer Kirkman from the perimeter. That one goes. Ripley rallies to win late, 45-43, as they advance to the 4A state championship game. And who would they play? It's either Lafayette or West Lauderdale. And Lafayette was not going to be denied in this one. Shania Buford get the ball. She gets the basket for 2. Lady Doors had the early lead. Then off the fast break, Chelsea Allen coming in transition up ahead of the defense. She's going to finish with the right hand. We're still in the first quarter here. Lafayette was stretching this one out pretty quickly and pretty often against the Lady Knights. Here comes Buford one more time. There's so many Bufords in Lafayette, and they're all really good at sports. That basket falls. Lady Doors win 51-21. They will play Ripley for the 4A Girls State title Thursday at 6 p.m. We will have more area highlights, including Ashland and Holka, coming up at 10.
All right.
Busy time down in the state
Very.
capitol.
Always.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Robbie. We'll be right back.
WCDI sports coverage of Mississippi High School State Championships is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center. Advanced medicine, compassionate care.
Pretty good rain chances tomorrow, a rare 100% with this line of storms coming on through here. So I think we're all going to get some rain. There could be a few strong storms. We'll be babysitting the radar. And then another round of active weather perhaps by late Saturday. But pretty mild this week.
You started your day with fourth graders and you're ending it with us.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a difference.
We'll see.